So for this lesson, inspired by the African-American artist Alma Woodsey Thomas, we are going to keep the drawing very simple. I am going to do one wave down at the bottom, and you want to draw lightly so that it doesn't show through your paint. And I'm going to do a half circle here to make it look like the sun is setting. And if you want, you can continue those circles all the way around so that you know the pattern of your colors. And then it's time to paint. So the one thing you need to remember about Alma Woodsey Thomas is she did small, short brush strokes. And she almost separated the brush strokes so that they looked like a mosaic. Another thing you want to keep in mind when you are painting is you want to clean your brush in between each color. That is super important so that your colors stay nice and vibrant. So one thing I want you to repeat is dip, drag, dry. So you're going to take it and you're going to dry it. This is really important. Unlike watercolor where you want your paintbrush to be wet, for tempera paint or acrylic paint, you want your paintbrush to be dry. So make sure that after you dip, drag, you dry. And I like to squeeze my brush just like this. I don't pull on it because I don't want to rip out the bristles, but I just squeeze it. And then I do a little tap to make sure that it's nice and dry, and then you can start painting. Now you don't need to dip very far into these paints. You only need a little bit of paint right on the tip of your brush, and then you can begin. So I'll start with the orange so that you can see it nice and bright, and you can choose any color scheme you want. One thing she did do is she kept patterns, which really made her artwork very beautiful. So I'm going to do a small brush stroke, and I can probably do a few brush strokes before I have to dip back into my paint. So I'm gonna dip back into the paint, just the tip of my brush. You can see I'm only using the very tip. I'm gonna go over that one again. And my brush strokes are very close together, but I'm trying to do my best to make sure that they do not touch each other. If by accident your brush strokes do touch, it's okay. And now I'm going to do another row on the inside. Again, as close as I can get them without them touching. And you can see that they touched here, and that is okay. So I can continue with the orange here. And now I want to change colors. So again, remember, I'm going to dip and really get that orange off my brush. Drag, dry. So I'm going to squeeze my brush without pulling. Make sure it's nice and dry. So I test it over here to make sure it's nice and dry. And you see how I keep my napkin nice and flat? Don't ball it up like this, okay? Keep it nice and flat. Always keep a nice workspace. So now I can choose a different color. So I'm going to come down here to the water just so that you can see cool colors now. And again, any color you want. I'm gonna reach for the purple. Again, I'm using only a little bit of the paint right on the tip. And again, small brush strokes as close as I can get them without touching. And whenever you need more paint, you just dip back into the paint. Remember, you only need to dip into the water when you're changing colors. So now that I've showed you what to do, I want to show you what not to do. I see some students, they grab their brush and they go super fast and they're super far apart, okay? That is not in the style of Alma Woodsey Thomas. We want to honor her artwork and we're inspired by her artwork, so we want to make sure that we do it as close to her artwork as we can. So again, you don't want really long brush strokes and you don't want them very far away. I even see some kids do this. Again, that's not what you want. You want to make sure you do short brush strokes close together. Okay? If you don't dry your brush and you go into your paint, you're gonna get this watery mess that you don't want. So make sure you dip, drag, dry. Dip, drag, dry before you get into your next color. One more thing I want to teach you is how to display your artwork. So once your painting is nice and dry, you're going to take it and you're going to place it on top of different colored sheets of paper to see which color is going to look best for your frame. Once you choose your color for your background, you are going to measure the bottom and the top. So I'm going to use the ruler. I'm going to use the width of my ruler, and I'm going to bring it all the way to the bottom, hold it in place, and I'm just going to draw a line right here. And that's where I'm going to glue my painting. So I'm going to flip her over, and I'm just going to put a few dots of glue on the corners, and then one in the middle of each corner. One little dot of glue goes a long way. And now I'm going to set it right on that line that I made. And press it down. And now I'm going to take my ruler and I'm going to do that same width right up here at the top. So I'm going to place it right above my painting. I'm going to draw a line, and that's the piece I'm going to cut off.